Yeah, man. Super Bowl next week.
Yep.
Sitting at the house, messing with our feet. Man, well, come on, man.
Come on, man. That's what we do, man. Super Bowl next week, and we mess with our feet.
Oh man, we sorry for being late. We was trying to get my boy Big Games in here and all that. If he can come, he'll be here. He having some internet issues.
I know what it is. See, Big Game James been calling out Jerry Wayne and things, you know.
Ooh.
So you already know. Oh man, it's conspiracy, man. Yeah.
Hey, you right.
I calling out Jerry.
I had to think
I don't like his attitude.
So
plug on that man internet.
conspiracy.
Let me hear it again.
Conspiracy, man. You bringing it back, boss Cowboy, with that one.
Oh man, conspiracy. Conspiracy. Yeah,
We said that back in the gap, man. It took the coaches about a month to catch on to what we were saying.
Oh wow!
It took them a month.
But you know what?
conspiracy.
When I do the conspiracy, you know what I do? I may talk bad about Jerry Wayne and things, but I'm gonna make sure I tie it up like, yeah, man, he a good guy.
That boy Law said, I'm gonna clean it up.
I'm gonna clean it up just a little bit.
Hey, my boy Big. Hey, my boy Big been raw lately though. He have, man. He ain't having it. Yeah. That boy said, I get fired. That boy had me rolling. Oh man. That boy said, I get fired. Cause I'm gonna ask the tough questions.
But you know what? You gotta love it because, man, that's the way, the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and he ain't holding back no punches, man.
He might still show up, man. He just tried to get his internet together. You know what I'm saying? So we still might see the big homie. You know what I'm saying? You know, so we go just rock.
Oh my God. Big Game James go, he go, man. Baby nuts, Joe, he go all the way. Baby.
Yeah, he do.
Y'all boy, y'all.
He said baby nuts.
No, he go hard though.
He go hard, baby. You know.
He do, man.
I wouldn't want it no other way though, man.
Yeah. See, you can do that when you're free. When you're independent, you can say it like that.
Man, I heard the analogy you said earlier this week.
Oh, which one, big dog? What did I go off on?
She's ready. But she's smelly. I was like, wait a minute. Let me put this burrito down.
Hey, Law, was I lying though? Was I lying?
You wasn't lying. So they said flag on the play.
Oh, flag on the play. I got it from you, big dog.
But hey, man, that was a good analogy.
Hey, I learned how to let mine hang watching you, big dog.
Oh my goodness.
Real.
You know, I had my coach say the same thing to me, man. My coach.
He used that example.
Nah, similar. It was a cleaner version though. He said, "See this orange? If you bite wrong, it tastes nasty.
Ooh.
If you bite the whole, it tastes nasty. You gotta take your time. You gotta split it."
Yeah, man.
The nectar is into the inside.
That Kellen Moore got a smell to him. He got a smell. You know. Hey, but right now, Kellen Moore's our lady, so we gonna work it out. He our lady. Yeah, so we gonna have to work it out. We gonna figure it out. You know, he our woman now, so I can't keep abusing him. And I gotta treat him with kid gloves. All right.
Yeah, man.
All right, so we got the final word, man. We hoping the homie come up in here. Big Game James. We still got his camera ready to go if he does. But what's up, fellas?
Man, It's all good.
Man, feeling good, man. We got the draft coming up, a lot of draft talk. We still got a lot of Cowboys news. Hey, before we get into the content, guys, man, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, Law Nation, all right? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, Big Game James, and also Boss Cowboy Sports, all right? Turn on your bell notification icons, man, because we got a lot to say. We got a lot of sauce tonight. And, hey, tell your friends, family, and loved ones to tune in.
Right on. All right, so we can start so many different places. It's been a lot of negative stuff.
Oh my God.
Let's start with some positive this time. Can we do that, fellas?
Okay, yeah.
Let's start with some positive stuff going into the new season, because I do think this is positive. I want to kind of get everybody's opinion on this, and we gonna just kick it off with Will McClay. Here we go.
With the jump that Terrance Steele was able to make from year 1 to year 2, being that swing guy, being all over the offensive line, it seemed to me like he was able to hold his own for the most part this season. He struggled a little bit from here to there, but he's a growing player, a young player. He has time to develop. How impressed were you with his play so far this season, or this season?
I mean, he did an incredible job coming back. After he played his rookie year, played a lot of snaps his rookie year. He came back stronger. He came back more determined. And that's the unique part about him. He played both sides. And, yeah, it's not ideal. But at the end of the day, there's not enough quality offensive linemen to go around 32 NFL teams. People make mistakes drafting guys in the first round, the second round, and don't get the level of performance that we got from Steele. So
wait, let's just pause right there. Wait. Let's start
to the game.
Oh man, what a hand clap. Oh, whoa.
Sexy chocolate.
Oh, sexy chocolate. Oh, who want to kick that off? Who want to go with that?
Let me go first, because I know that the OC he's so right on with his offensive line talk. But I'm gonna tell you guys, the growth aspect of Terrance Steele, who we were saying reserve Steele, 211 last season, the season before last, and for him to get out there to win the award, I thought that the Cowboys were just selling us that beef sugar. You know what I'm saying? Almost cussed.
Right.
I count myself. They were selling us that bull sugar,
Right.
He won the off-season award. He's stronger. You can see the traps. You can see the veins pumping out through his arms and stuff. We thought that they were just selling us stuff. And when the preseason hit, it was still installments, right? So he really didn't look that polished in preseason. But baby, week 2, all the way up to a 6-game winning spree, that boy was good. That boy, look at the muscles. Look at the muscles. Now that's his rookie year. Look at that rookie year arm. Now I'm gonna see. Look at the highlights.
That's true.
Look at the rookie year
so
arm.
true.
It was just flabby. But if you look at this past year arm, he got triceps, he got muscles, veins popping all out.
That's true.
Man, y'all pay attention, man. But yeah, I think
Speak
that
law.
Will McClay was right on the money with him. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. So this goes to the credit of Will McClay, man, at identifying really talented people and getting the right type of people in the building. So shout out to Will McClay, which is why the Cowboys will always have a chance, right, on a positive note, because he does a fantastic job of evaluating and getting gems and getting talent and getting cultural fits for the Cowboys. Terrance Steele is a guy, man, that played just about on a Pro Bowl level. If you look at the NFC tackles that went to the Pro Bowl, nobody played better in the NFC at right tackle than Terrance Steele did when he was starting at right tackle. Nobody played better. I've looked at myriads of tape, and we can, dissect this for days. But, at the end of the day, man, he came back, and me and Boss Cowboy joked about this. He had that light-skinned anger, man. He had that light-skinned chip on his shoulder.
No. You said light-skinned chip, bro.
He has a light-skinned chip on his shoulder. So the light-skinned chip on your shoulder is a cultural euphemism for those that are watching. It's that I'm light, but I'm not weak. So it was always something when you grew up, when you was young in the hood, you always kind of thought that the light-skinned black brothers were pretty boys, and that you could kind of pick on them, get over on
That's
them,
true,
and
too.
you could intimidate them.
That's
right?
true.
So it's a cultural thing in the African American community. Well, he came back with that light-skinned chip on his shoulder. So he let you know, I ain't no punk. I'm about to put it down. And you know what? I'm coming here to whoop all y'all. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm the bully. So that's what Terrance Steele, that's what he needs to buy a t-shirt that says, I'm the bully. Because that's what he was in the run game, man.
Hey, man,
80% of the positive 80% of the positive yardage, man, that Zeke was racking up, even after he was injured the first 6 games, man, it came off that right side. So shout out to Terrance Steele. And listen, I said this earlier, and I'm going to say this right now. If the Cowboys are smart, oh my goodness.
Pay
if the Cowboys are smart,
pay him.
Go ahead and try to extend him now.
Yes.
Extend him.
Pay him, dog.
Listen, get halfway through next season, okay? And you don't have to do it right now. Get halfway through next season. And if he's the starter and he's looking good, call his agent and say, hey, we'd like to go ahead and get this wrapped up now. Extend him now because you're going to save so much money and you got a young, good tackle that, man, can play the position for you at the right tackle position for years to come.
Hey, and Montana said only certain ones, not all lighter shade of brown folk. Yeah, you got to be a pretty boy, dog. You got to be a pretty boy, because the pretty boy, light skinned boy, y'all had to be tough. That's true.
Had to be tough.
Well, it depends on what hood you from. In my hood, the light skinned dudes with the man, they go hard. But anyway, he did have that. Trust me, that's a euphemism that we use in our communities. Everybody don't understand that joke. Don't try that
they
joke.
Don't get it, dog.
Don't try that joke.
But Boss Cowboy and our era, boy, we had it going on. MJ was killing the game. More Chestnut,
Oh yeah. And we never go out of style, Law. We never go out of style, bro. We always go be in style, bro. Always. See this right here, it's up and down. That's up and down. That's seasonal. That's seasonal.
Y'all got
That's
Drake
seasonal
right
there,
y'all
man.
Got Drake. And somebody said that the OC looking like Mecca
y'all got Drake.
Right now. OC looking like Mecca off of Power.
Everyone say y'all got Drake. Oh man. Say, listen. Oh man. But what I want to highlight
go ahead.
That didn't go over my head. He said it's not many first rounders having a career like Steele. See, everybody, y'all should start clapping. Come on, clap it up. Clap it up. Everybody that's been begging, we need a first round. We need a first round. Will McClay. See, when I said it, I ain't gonna lie, even I thought I was crazy a little bit when I said it. I was like, maybe you need to slow down a little bit. But it does give me confidence when Will said, because he is on another level. He is way more accomplished. So yeah, when I said it, I ain't gonna lie, I had little doubts in my heart, a little bit, just a little bit. But then when you hear Will say it, like, no, he playing like a first rounder. Go check first round and how they're trajectorying. And listen, y'all, we got us a potential first round performing tackle. Clap it up.
Got you.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
Oh man, let's keep listening. Because he going.
He got more details.
Oh yeah, that was just the beginning, man. He almost finished though. Check this out.
That's exciting because it's just who the young man is. Like, he's determined. He got a little nasty with him. He's long, he's athletic, and he got stronger. And he doesn't say a word. He's got that offensive line mentality, and he's got a great veteran group to learn from when you watch Tyron Smith and Zach Martin and LC. You understand what it takes to be a pro, and then you got to take it upon yourself as a young man, which he did, to come in his weight room and get stronger and do all the things it took to play at a high level. And I think he's going to be a surprising player for us, young player for us, as we continue to go forward.
All right. Yeah, and that's the Cowboy Bites And I do have that link in the description. So let me ask y'all this question. Is the offensive line as bad as what we think?
Oh my goodness, man! I'm gonna tell you right now, the offensive line was only shot in the foot by themselves. You should have kept Terrance Steele at right tackle. Hey, Zach Martin at right guard. Of course, he stayed there, and of course, we know that Tyler Biotish. I mean, this was pretty much his rookie year, basically. If you really want to count this year as a full year, this was his rookie year. Connor Williams, he played his best year, but he held on. So I have to get him an incomplete grade because he had 14 to 15 penalties, right? And then we had my guy Terrance Smith. So my thing is, what the Cowboys did wrong was they changed the horse in the middle of the race. Old folks say that all the time. I'm from the country. Don't change the horse in the middle of the race. Or for the younger folks, man, who listen to Luther, he said, love the one you with. You see, love the one you with. Terrance Steele was kicking butts, So let's not change that thing, because the moment you kick Terrance Steele off, and you try to recreate the wheel, it just destroyed the chemistry. And I have to say this one more thing. If they were to do anything, they should have just looked La'el Collins in the eyes and said, hey, that Terrance Steele is playing his you-know-what off. Now, now, Connor Williams is slipping, although this is his best season. But you never gave up a sack as a guard. We're going to kick you inside as the guard. Not Connor McGovern. I like what Connor McGovern was doing, but he wasn't ready for left guard. I digress.
Yeah, great points, Law. Great points, Law. I think that, this always goes to, you can have filet mignon and potatoes and mushrooms and lobster, but you know what? The wrong chef will burn that steak. The wrong chef will make the potatoes nasty. The wrong chef will mess up the lobster tails and the crab legs. So to me, you can have great ingredients, but it's all about who's cooking.
Right.
And the issue is that Philman, the offensive line coach, in my opinion, he was not allowed to cook the way that he saw fit, because he declared that Steele and also McGovern should start based upon their consistency and their play.
Can you say that again? Can you say that one more time, OC? I'm going to make you real big. Okay, I'm going to make you bigger than this. Give me 1 second. Can you say that one more time, big dog?
So the offensive line coach himself, Philman, is on record in saying that Steele and McGovern should start based upon their play and consistency. He was on record and said that, right? But when we have meddling, we have meddling. And so when you have meddling, what happens is that you cause the steak to get burned. You cause the potatoes to be dry, right? And you mess up the meal when you have the perfect ingredients. So was the offensive line bad? It got bad in spots when we lacked continuity and we didn't play the players that were playing the best at the time. Now, I will say this to add to this, and I'm done, is that the Cowboys could benefit from some additional depth at the offensive line position, in particular tackle, because you may have injuries. And so if the Cowboys can shore that up, I think the Cowboys will be one of the top 5 offensive lines in the NFL if they allow the coaches to make the decisions that will be best for continuity.
May I say this thing before my guy boss go? You got 3 people over here on my side disagreeing with you, and they saying that I think his name is Basher on his side, saying Colin is way better than Steele by a lot. And then I have Ronnie Everett saying, hey man, y'all capping. Basically, I'm just paraphrasing, Steele ain't that good. So if you guys can just say what is really the problem with Steele, and why is those 2 guys or 3 guys over there saying that Colin is a whole lot better than Steele? Can you just break that down for me and everybody?
Yeah, and I will, just in a short term, and respectfully to your audience, we did do a video and a breakdown of Steele on Boss Cowboy Sports. And so, look, Law Nation dropped tremendous content, and he's the man with the plan. But if you want to just get caught up on a breakdown on that, we did a breakdown on Boss Cowboy Sports, breaking down the plays of Terrance Steele and even Lyle Collins. And if you look at the tape, you decide for yourself. I won't judge for you, but what I can say, since I've studied this extensively, is that you have more push and better run plays off of Steele's butt than Collins. And you also had a better pass with balance and quickness versus premier pass rushers when Steele was starting versus what we saw until probably the last game. Right now, Collins played really good in the playoff game versus San Francisco. He played really good.
Yeah, that was his best game. That was his best game.
It was his best game. This is the best game by far. So, but if you look at his body of work and you compare it, you will probably say that Steele, if you're honest, and you take away any biases, you probably say that Steele played better. And that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the big name, the guy that makes the most money. We're talking about the guy that actually played better and the guy that had the most productivity in terms of pancakes and dumping people on the ground and running downfield, doing just really athletic, freakish stuff. That will be Steele.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And if I can jump in real quick, because it was said that we was capping.
Right.
I would say this. Don't trust me. Don't even trust you. Trust the film. So you can go to our channel, and there's nobody out there that has a breakdown side by side of Lyle Collins versus Terrance Steele on the run game and pass game. This is the only one you go see. So, and I'm going to say this. I used to think like you, sir. I did. I used to think that Lyle was better. But I actually broke down the tape. I cut it up. And when I cut it up, I had to address what I saw. So, like, you can say I'm capping. You can say the OC capping. But do you really think Will McClay is capping? I mean, that's a fair question. And I'm not mad at anybody that disagrees with us. But come on now. Like, it caught up because it's true. You know what I mean? That's all it is. It's true. So I just say, go watch the film, go to our channel, go watch the breakdown. And then I put it like this. When we did this law and when we did the side-by-side breakdown, we had everybody vote. I said, hey, based on what y'all just saw, run game, pass game, everybody that's in the chat, who was better? It was 100% Terrance Steele. And you know this, Law. You can't get 100% of Cowboys to agree that the sky's blue when it's blue.
Right.
You know that.
Right.
But it's so obvious. So the truth is this. A lot of us don't have time to break down offensive line tape. So we trust the opinions of others. And a lot of people have said over and over and over and over and over and over and over again that Lyle is better, but it don't match the film. It's just what it is.
No doubt.
So, but I'm happy. I'm just happy that Will McClay is saying what we was saying. All of us was saying. Like, the dude was balling at that right tackle. He gave up no sacks at right tackle. And you heard Will McClay say, we put him at a disadvantage having him play both sides. You heard that, Law?
Right. I heard that.
Yeah. So he was put at a disadvantage, and some of us, I think we go catch up next year. But I want to talk about the offensive line real quick from a general standpoint, because it's been a lot of panic. I've been hearing about the Iowa center. I checked him out. He sometimes struggles with power. Come on now, I'm gonna tell the truth. Right. I'm not gonna lie to you. He sometimes struggles with power. Right. He's the new toy that everybody's excited about, but go really use your eyes. Technically, he's very athletic. He's very athletic. He moves very well. He pushes very well. He has an extraordinary push at the point, but he also can get pushed back. And he's a Remington Award winner. Guess who else was? Tyler, your own guy.
Trading Tyler for Tyler.
And I'm not, yeah. So it's like, we don't even, like, I'm honestly not understanding how center is thrown in as a major liability. I'm not seeing it. I saw it earlier, but I dare anybody pull up some late games and show me a real breakdown where Tyler Biadasz is the breakdown of this offensive line. I'm not seeing it.
I'm gonna let you go first, Law.
Oh my gosh, offensive line videos that burns your eyes, right? There's no, I mean, when you watch offensive line video, it's a labor.
You gotta focus.
A labor of love, right?
Yeah,
now,
you gotta focus.
You gotta focus in. The center touches the ball.
You gotta be like this, Law.
Yeah. And that's one of the hardest positions to learn, center position, because you calling out the assignments, you pointing out the mic, you touches the ball 100% of the time. And that is a situation, whereas once the ball is up, you got to position yourself to anchor that spot in. And when you got somebody who's light in the pants to the left of you, and I'm not finna say his name, Connor, but his name is Connor, it gets very overwhelming, right? And the offensive line is one group that if you are only as strong as your weakest link, right? So teams figure things out. That's why I say all the time, your big boys, like your one techs and some of your three techs, majority of their sacks come in the late third and the fourth quarter, because that's because they are putting their big body on those boys and they give in to that pressure, and pressure bust pipes. So I look at it as it relates to this offensive line. I know that Tyler Biadasz had some issues with power. I know for a fact that Connor Williams had issue with power. And when you have for a fact, that ain't nothing to go and say, hey, let's the fact checkers check it out. All you got to do is go watch some film, baby, and you see some boy getting picked up and move out of the way, and it's Connor Williams. And majority of his holds, I know we are the Cowboys, right? We under magnifying glass, but majority of the holds were because he's reaching, lunging. And I know that my guy, the OC, can break that down a whole lot better than what I just said about him reaching. But neither here nor there. The offensive line, as far as that part of it, needed to be stronger.
Yeah,
and they hold on. They killing y'all. They killing y'all right now with the Tyler Linden bomb. Oh my God, y'all threw a bomb over there. But go ahead.
We normally do. And listen, bro, this is what people gotta accept. Listen, we don't go with the hype. We know it's hype. Right. It was hype when we was telling people that Steele was better, and it caught up. This is gonna catch up too. Right now, it's just a big old buzz over the Iowa State Center. Everybody just chirping. He's gonna fix us. Once we insert him, we're gonna be back.
See, but this is so Cowboy-ish, and this is what I hate about some of the Cowboys. No offense to anybody. Anytime we see an athletic, non-African-American player that is pretty quick, and, people freak out, right? Because it's uncommon. It's uncommon. It's uncommon.
Oh, okay. You talking about the center. Yeah.
Yeah,
they freaking out because he's quick.
Oh, he's quick, okay.
Yeah, he's a white kid from Iowa that's quick, right? Yeah. There's so many black linemen that run circles around him. It's ridiculous. And I'm not making it a race thing, but I'm just simply saying we're wild because it's not the norm to see a center able to reach and do all this and all that coming out of Iowa. Now, he's a good player. He's athletically superior to most centers that you're going to see in terms of what he can do. But he's not superior on an NFL level. There is a progression that happens when you come to the NFL. You are playing against much more powerful men. And typically, even if you're a good offensive lineman, let's even look at Terrance. When he came in, he was a first-round talent, like I believe somewhere between 11th and 15th pick. He had some growing pains. He had to grow into his man body. He had to add muscle. He had to add strength. Even though he had the feet and he had the talent to play at this level, right? And he did that successfully, and now he's one of the best that ever did it. So the same thing with Tyler Biadasz. So don't throw out the baby with the bathwater in this situation. I agree 110% with Lawson that This is technically his rookie year. And he struggled early in the year, but you did see improvements. And the thing that you want out of your center is you want a guy that's not getting blown up and pushed into the backfield. When we got into the second part of the season, we didn't see that nearly as much. And you want a guy with the IQ to recognize the defense and not blow calls. How many A-gap pressures did we have on Dak Prescott where it resulted in a sack or just a clean pressure in his face? I'm going to tell you, not many. Not many. That's a good center play. That's the unsung hero play of offensive line. When you're holding those A-gaps, when you recognize blitzes and you're sure on protection, number one, and you're not getting blown up and dumped on your butt every play in the run game. And a lot of times for a center, even the most powerful centers, guys, people don't understand, the average fan, how strong and how physical guys are, people don't get it. They don't get it. So sometimes if you don't get pushed back, that's a W. That's a win. Not to get pushed back is a win. So I think he'll grow into his man body. I think he'll do similar to what Steele did. He'll gain a lot of mass and strength, and he'll come back a lot better.
Yeah, I think Tyler is going to be much better. I think it's a big old panic. Just being honest, because once a couple of people on the fan jump out there and co-sign certain players, then everybody start co-signing. That's what happens. It happens a lot. It just take a few big voices and then everybody jump on. That same thing happened with Kyle Pitts. Yes, Kyle Pitts was a top 10 player, but Kyle Pitts never should have been graded over or better than or the top guy. Like people say, he's the best guy in this draft class. I was like, no, bruh. You can't put him over Parsons. You can't put him over Chase. We were saying that last year, but the hype got so ridiculous.
Got into the Kyle Pitts hype. I feel you.
It got ridiculous. And that's what's starting to happen with this our center. It's not saying that he's not a good player, but I'm just not buying it. So this is what I want to say on the offensive line. We forgetting about somebody.
Right.
We forgetting about Josh Ball. Ooh. We forgetting about Josh Ball. See, and I want to be the attorney for filming because filming keep getting a bad rap. A lot of people keep saying it was filming that did that rotation. It was not filming. It was Jerry. It was Jerry. Yeah, he had to because who was the guy saying Lyle is the enforcer?
Yeah.
Who was saying that? That was Jerry.
Jerry Wayne, I think.
He was the one that said both of those guys are the same player. Now, you played, Law. I played, and the OC played. What's the rule, whether it's Little League, high school, Division I, NFL? If the younger guy is just as good as the older guy, you always play the younger guy. I don't care if there's Little League, middle school, high school, D2, Division I, NFL, Europe League, Canada. So the fact, it was Jerry. Yeah, it was Jerry. It was totally Jerry. It was not filming. Because Jerry himself, y'all know I got all the video clips. I got the video clips. Jerry himself said it was filming responsible for lobbying for Steele to start and developing him to what he became. Yes, this guy. And that's why I'm saying we are forgetting about if he stays, what can potentially happen with the other guy, Josh Ball. You know what I mean? So a lot of us, we keep clamoring for another tackle. That's what I'm saying. When we really look at it, we got filming who's on record being responsible for making Steele and having him perform literally at a first round level. A first round level. Can he do it again, Law? What if he can do it again and make another one out of Josh Ball? Just what if?
Man, you guys
bring up a
right
good
on
point.
it, man. Great points, man. I think that Ball he got good feet. He plays. He look, regardless of the situation that happened in college, of course, we get it. Domestic violence is something that is frowned upon. And I'm glad that he came out of this thing innocent or what have you, whatever the charges were dropped. But I get it. That drop didn't hurt his draft status. So he was taken out of precautions of dropping and what have you, but the talent level is still there. He had a high ankle sprain, and we didn't get a chance to see him. And I think what the Cowboys wanted to do is pretty much hide him and stash him, just like they did other players in the past. And we will find out. That's why it's so important for us to go out there to Oxnard in training camp to see with our own eyes what Josh Ball is going to bring to the table. And when we talk about these guys, what I'm saying is what the Cowboys should do is let's not go in with the 24th pick and say, okay, we need offensive line. We need offensive line.
Right.
That's a cure-all,
right.
end-all. No, you go
yes.
with BPA.
BPA.
Best player available. Because
yes.
Ed Ingram can drop like in the second or third round. It could be crazy, right? And you can still get those level productions out of an interior guard, right, if you just wait. So let's not rush into this thing and say, all right, let's go get an offensive lineman in the first with the 24th pick. Crazier things happened before. I believe, what round did Creed Humphreys went, Cowboy Nation? And I think he was one of the better centers last season, or better offensive linemen last season, and he wasn't a first round draft pick. I think he played good for the Kansas City Chiefs. So let's not rush into this thing. That's all I'm saying. But go ahead.
All right, I got something else. Unless you had something on that, OC. Did you have something on that?
No, just real quick, man. I think that at the end of the day, man, and you guys both brought up excellent points with Josh Ball, right? Because how the Cowboys really feel about Josh Ball will be discovered by what they do with these first couple of picks.
Oh, you're breaking up.
If they're high on Josh Ball, am I back?
You back.
You back. Okay.
Okay. If they're high on him, then they'll draft another tackle. If they're not, they may do it with the first couple picks.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, and you right, because you was breaking up when you said, but I heard what you said. Maybe they didn't hear what you said, so I'm going to repeat it. The OC made an epic point. The fate of the Cowboys is going to be determined about how they feel about Josh Ball based on the first picks. The primary pick is going to show you their faith in Ball. I agree with that statement. You was breaking up when you said that, but that's a powerful statement. And if we don't do anything, it's going to be a lot of anger, but that's also, to me, to your point, OC, is signaling a lot of faith in him and his upside. So,
yeah. And let me just say this again. If the BPA approach is best player available, it's not
right.
What do you have on your depth chart. So I'm just saying, if Tyler Landenbaum, according to their draft board, is their best player available, then Law Nation said, hey, let's not think twice and three times about it. You pick them. Or if you have guys that tags or touching, what have you, and you know for sure you can trade back and still get that person, then do that. I think that's what the Cowboys did last season, right? They knew for sure that their best player available was still Parsons. But the team needs of other teams that they kind of gambled a little bit, and they felt as if, though, they could move back, grab an extra pick, and still pick Parsons. There's nothing wrong with that draft strategy. Just stand firm to what you believe in, though.
So, real quick, a lot of people obviously been hearing about this new receiver coach. So I didn't talk to you about it, Law. I didn't talk to you about it, OC. But now we get to talk about it. This new hire, Robert Prince. This is an article by Patrick Walker, where it's a 2-minute read. He kind of get into, his background with Detroit, Boise State, all that kind of stuff. And this is another article by R.J. Ochoa, talking about the new receiver coach. So I want to get y'all thoughts on, the new transition, the change up at receiver coaching, and see what y'all thoughts are.
You want me to go first or the OC?
Since you talking,
Go ahead,
you go.
Okay. Well, it's two ways. There's cons and pros. And I'm going to start off with the con part of it. The con part of it is, okay, it sounds like more of just like with the philosophy of Garrett guys. Yeah, you guys remember that? Now it's more guys, right? With that being said, some of the things, the voices are getting quieter when you have this type of situation. Especially we talking about the fact that you got somebody that can really echo what the coach is saying, and then also be like that Trojan horse to say, hey, this is what they're saying about you, coach. The OC, the offensive coordinator. So that is the con part of it. But the pros part of it, now Kellen Moore can talk to the wide receiver coach and explain, okay, these are the things that I'm looking out of a route concept, and this is where I want my guys to, at the top of the route, to pivot, to shade, to drop their hip, sink, come back toward the ball or what have you. I think that communication will be stronger with somebody because on top of that, Robert Prince can also correct Kellen Moore when Kellen Moore probably have a philosophy or ideal, and Robert Prince can say, no. Back in Boise, this is the reason why I had the wide receivers do this, right? Remember, I was coaching the wide receivers. Now they can have a common ground where they can recall some things. Now, as far as Robert Prince, his resume, what have you, he's been bouncing around from team to team. So that's a cause to pause. But outside of that, I think that the voice would be unified by having somebody that's familiar with your system and what you're trying to put out there. Somebody said, yeah, it's like double jeopardy, right? I feel you. But go ahead.
Yeah, guys, I almost dropped a video on this and I didn't have time to do it. So I'll just say what I think about this just really quick. This is a double down and a commitment to help Moore be all that he can be.
Right.
It's an endorsement and it's support, for Kellen Moore. And this is to say, hey, we want your system to try to work. And really, the big loser in this situation is unsullied times 2 Mike McCarthy. Because why in the world did Mike McCarthy not really have a say in the new receivers coach with all of his experience, pedigree, and coaching connections? This is creating a larger chasm of unempowering the head coach, which in this lens I hate. If it works, then guess what? Kellen is going to get all the credit. If it doesn't work, Mike McCarthy's going to get all the blame. So he's in a catch-22 situation. And in my opinion, this coach, here's a greater question, okay? Here's a greater question. Why do you think the current wide receiver coach declined a contract extension? That's why they hired Prince. He declined. They offered him a contract. He declined it. And I won't speculate on everything, but I'm going to say it was definitely some things that man didn't like. It was definitely some things that he didn't agree with for him to decline that contract.
And it had to have some gag order in there. Had to, because like you said, nobody really walks away from money and try to uproot their entire family out of Dallas, right? To not coach up. Right. Think about this. Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, a young guy like CeeDee Lamb, you sit there and say, no, I'm going to try to coach this man. He was first round draft pick. But go ahead, the OC.
Yeah, no, you're perfectly on what I'm talking about here. So this is kind of a boom or bust situation, and I'm not going to say that Mike McCarthy will be the only blaming cause, because it could be where Kellen Moore, hey, we gave you everything that you need to succeed, and now, hey, Kellen, we got to move on, or we got to take control. But I don't like it. I don't see Prince as a coach. I see him as a system guy that understands what Kellen wants to do, that double downs Kellen Moore's system approach. I don't see him as a championship or winning type wide receiver coach. He was with the Texans this past year. He was with, for the most part, a losing team with Detroit the last 7 years before that. So it's just a good old boy. Support our guy higher, man. That's what it is.
No doubt, man.
Well, I do see some goods and bad on this. This is definitely what you said, OC. This is not a doubling down. This is a quadrupling down on Kellen Moore's system. This reconfirms what I've been talking about with the Scrooge.
Mm-hmm.
And because, I did that video and I was explaining how if you a capitalist and you watching Kellen Moore with Boise State, who had average athletes, right? Go 50-3. Basically, they did more with less. That's speaking the language of a greedy person.
Greedy.
Right? That's you go give me more for less? So this is a signal that they're doubling down, like you said, into Kellen Moore's system even more. That they really going all out with the systems approach. They giving this a real shot. This is also a good thing too.
Right.
This is a good thing. This is a good thing because I said before there was a change in receiver coaches that the receivers looked like they weren't on the same page with Dak too much during the year. That's when you seeing a whole group look like that.
Right.
That's their teacher, man. That's their teacher, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Now, if it's a couple of individuals, okay, that individual need to hit the books. But it was the whole core. So if you go watch the tight ends and you go watch the receivers and you watch how intuitive the tight end group find those holes in the zone, they find it like that. They on the same page with Dak every time. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's why Schultz getting so many targets. And Dak throws in rhythm to those guys, not so much the receivers. So the doubling down is bad, but it's also good because maybe you bringing in a better teacher of Kellen's system. You know what I mean? Where it might make the system work better. Now, also, I think a lot of people mad because of the Boise State connection.
Right.
And we know the Cowboys love Boise State.
They do.
But we should. I mean, think about it. Some of our best captains have come from Boise State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, we're familiar with this guy. Maybe Kellen worked with this guy before. Sometimes that's not all bad. Sometimes, sometimes bringing in a guy that really knows the details of your system.
Right.
Because when you're an offensive receiver coach and I'm trying to teach you my new system, I got to teach you so you can teach others. You don't got to do that with this guy. He know your system. He get it. So, the third bad thing, this is unexpected, but I'm going to just tell y'all, it's also bad news for Amari Cooper. Right? Because if you putting all these resources in a system, why would you pay for a number one? Right? I'm just keeping it real. Right? Now, we all disagree with that. I definitely disagree with that. But I'm just giving, in my opinion, the reality of what this hire means. So,
I mean, let me say this one thing too. I think that wide receiver coaching and style and schemes and what they should do at a point of contact and nosing the ball is such an underrated situation. We got two guys in the DFW that I've seen literally got their hands on players and they improve. Like for real. And I'm gonna name D-Rob, always open, man. Y'all check out his camp. Watch how many players go and work out with him. But I'm gonna tell you about another cat, man, that's really good, and he's under the radar, man. Coach Bird, and you know Coach Bird, Boss Cowboy, and we gonna be working out with some receivers that I know for sure. You know what I'm saying? We went with Coach Bird, and they game elevated like this. Watch what Laviscus Chenault gonna do next season. Watch how your boy Cedric Wilson just improved so much, right? And when you're talking about, a coach, they got to coach way from afar because he can't have his interaction. Sometimes the person that get hired is not the person that's really going to teach you things, And shout out to my guy, Coach Bird, man. He also have a nephew that actually got recruited and went to Boise State. C.T. Thomas, y'all look him up. Guy is nasty with his routes, and that's all through Coach Bird. So I get it. This offseason, Cedric Wilson is going to go back to Coach Bird camp. Also, we're going to be working out with T.J. Vasher. T.J., man, when y'all see him in person, the OC and Boss Cowboy, you're going to be like, God, dog, right? That dude going to be nice, man. And I'm not trying to pump them up or anything, but just watch. These guys gonna improve from year to year. And D-Rob that worked out with a lot of wide receivers in this area too. Remember, that was the guy that Dez Bryant went to, and one of his better seasons is when he started to work with D-Rob. And it's the small things that you do with wide receivers to help them out.
Yeah. So I actually feel good and bad. I feel bad for Amari Cooper.
Oh yeah. Now this the only thing is, boss. I don't know. Maybe Robert Prince is a two-way street. It's twofold. Maybe Robert Prince can communicate with Amari Cooper, and they can iron this thing out the best way. Maybe Adam Henry had a different philosophy, and those things couldn't work out. Hopefully, it's Robert Prince that can understand Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper can understand Robert Prince, and they can translate whatever the hell Kellen Moore is trying to say, what these wide receivers should be at their routes. Maybe that's the situation. It could be positive out of it.
I think it's not that though, long.
That's our only hope.
And I'm gonna tell you why I don't. Go ahead, OC.
No, just real quick, man. I mean, if you bring it in and you doubling down on the system, one thing I will say, and just because it doesn't make sense doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, but it makes no sense to me to get rid of your true number one and far and away the best technical route runner on your team, right? Because you have to be technical in terms of your route running and combinations and understanding of that if you're going to be more of a system type offense and not just target a number one or number two. So it will weaken you greatly to get rid of Amari Cooper. So I'm just going to think that the Cowboys got more sense than to do that. I'm just going to go out on a limb and just think that, boss. But go ahead. You tell me what you think.
$16 million. That's what they looking at. Penny Pincher, Stephen Jones, $16 million. And they probably flip it and say, okay, what if we give y'all Christian Kirk and re-sign Gallup? What if we give y'all Will Fuller, re-sign Gallup?
That's just like them.
$16 million is what they were saving money. And I've seen also D-Law lumped into this situation. That's $8 million. That's $24 million that they can save by cutting DeMarcus Lawrence as well as Amari Cooper. Remember what you said before we went live, the OC. I ain't gonna say it now. I ain't gonna say it now. But remember what we said. You're right. I ain't gonna say it now.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Boss Cowboy.
Go ahead, boss.
Barry said, "Sounds like they want to go back to receiver by committee." Yo, that's exactly what it sounds like. Yup. And
so dumb though. God.
I ain't quite ready to shoot them in their head yet. Because it was times they've been right and we've been wrong. It's been times they've been right and we've been wrong. It's been times. They was right a lot this year. They was right a lot. I'm trying to be open to it. I'm trying. But I'm gonna try to answer the question from Law, because Law talked about the hope that this coach could get with Amari and get on the same page with him. This is why I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm not being a dabber downer. I'm just trying to think it through. I don't think it's gonna happen because when you're dealing with a system is about timing. Right? And they believe you gotta get to a certain route at a certain speed at a certain time, and then that ball is coming. That's the system, right? Amari is more of an artist. He's a setup guy. So one route he might explode into his slant. On the next route, he might dance and then explode into his, that disrupts the system. Right? And that's why I think there's an odds. That's why Ocho Cinco, as good as he was, could not work in New England. He couldn't. Because they wanted him to be a system receiver, and he was like, man, I'm an artist out here, man. I just get open. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see your angle.
And this is telling me that they go commit to it. They finna get rid of Cooper. They got the media out there doing massive hits on him right now. Massive hits. Massive. It's epic. They talking about trade them today. This morning they talked about he wasn't even a top 10 receiver, so he's not a number one. They going crazy. They have lost their mind. Yeah, they try to get him out of here, dog.
That's messed up, man. That's so messed up. That's so dirty, because at what expense, man? I understand about the precision and the timing and all those things, but the issue is that if you run the same route the same way all the times, guess what that's going to lead to? Interceptions. Because you go run up against a guy that can cover, and that's how your routes get jumped. And that's how they roll coverage, because they understand exactly what you go do, and they shut you down when you play against tough defenses, which is what happened to the Cowboys offense this year. So we should learn by history that this is not going to work. You have to have athletes that can beat other people. A man, as Michael Irvin said, playmaker, a man got to beat a man. At some point, a man got to beat a man. And it don't matter what system you have, your players that you have to be superior athletically, speed, skill-wise, to beat a man when you play against another talented player. And if you can't beat that man, you're going to lose. That's bottom line.
You know what? You're on the point with that, but we talking about these wide receiver coach. There's one coach that, I know KM is back, but there's one coach that I would love for him to not renew his contract, and his name is Doug Nussmeier. And
yes,
I just wish that the Cowboys understand that, hey, we need some hard-nosed coaching up in here. And I guarantee you my bottom dollar that Doug Nussmeier mixed in with Kellen Moore is not holding. And look, before y'all come at me with the pitchforks and everything and saying the Law Nation is hating on Dak Prescott, no, that's not my angle. But hear me out before you shank me with the butter knife. I just want somebody that can relay the OC information to the quarterback, from the quarterback coach trying to relay it and saying, okay, this is what I want you to do. And I want to see not Dak Prescott sitting on the bench with his head down. I want a coaching moment. I want that quarterback coach, like a John Kitna or somebody, to get in the ear and say, okay, these are the things. Pick your head up. Let's get back out there. Let's continue to coach the process through the game. And I know this is going into year 7 with my guy, Rain Dakota Prescott. But I would like to see, this is just me. I would like to see more of that. I don't know what Doug Nussmeier is doing on the sideline. I just don't know, man. I could be 1,000,000% wrong. Doug could be coaching this, off, but I doubt it.
Well,
I agree with you. Because, see, this is why I agree with you. Everywhere Doug goes, the group goes down. Remember when the tight ends was playing bad? Remember when Blake and Schultz was playing bad? Doug was their coach. When did both the tight ends just take off?
He left.
When they got Wells. When they got this new coach, You know what I'm saying? That now both them playing with swag. You know what I mean? They coming out there like, man, who was the, you know? Yeah, I agree with you, Law. So,
Yo, man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, man.
no, he got to go. He's a guy that's he's a secret Garrett guy. He's a Garrett guy that's floating. You know what I mean? He's still of that era. You know what I mean? And he hanging on. He hanging on.
Yeah, you know, it smells of a company man situation.
Yep.
That's what this smells
Company
of.
man.
He's that guy that doesn't do good in any position, but you keep on transferring him to different departments because the owners and managers like him. It's like, that's what this is. This is a company man situation. We just trying to find a job for you because we like you. And if the Cowboys will go to another level, man, then they got to stop that. Just straight up.
And they not.
Yeah.
They not. They full speed ahead doing it how they always do it. But it's one thing I can say, hopefully, about this Cooper situation. I think with Cooper, it could work out. It could. It looked like they trying to get rid of him. It looked like they straight ahead to that. But if it happened, this is what I'm gonna say. Cowboy Nation, don't give up. Don't give up. Don't just act like the sky's falling. Because we do got some saving grace. I'm gonna be all the way honest with you.
Yep. There you go.
That's why I said on Twitter, and I meant it, and my Twitter lit up when I said it. Ooh. I bet I tell it. You already know what I'm talking about, Law.
I heard James say it, man. Let's go repeat it.
Bro, man, when I said that on Twitter, my Twitter lit up like a Christmas tree. Listen, I said the Dallas Cowboys would be the Jets if it was not for Will McClay and the Dallas Pro Scouts. I got 1,800 likes and 109 reshares on that. Oh, that registered. That hit the heart.
Shout out to you, Miss Scouting Pro. You know, she in the chat right now. Yeah, you're right.
What's up, Miss Scouting Pro? What's going on? But that's who. Listen, if we didn't have him with all the moves that front office makes, that's ill-advised. He the one that keep us afloat. I'm keeping it. Now, we playing a dangerous game because he always got to bail us out, right? He got to go find us a Carlos Watkins and make it work. He got to go find us a Curse and make it work. He got to go find... But that's what we got. So even though it would look bad without Amari, I'm still going to be hopeful. A little bit. Just a little bit. Because they giving him his full shot, though. They giving him a full chance to give his system a shot. And you said, and see, this is the trick to it, OC, because you said something. You said it ain't gonna work. That's what you said. But this is the trick to it. It actually does work. It just works on sorry teams.
Yeah, and that's the point. And we can't win this championship and go for 6 without beating some good teams, which is the whole issue here. When we played good teams, we came up empty. We came up short. We came up shell-shocked in a big game versus any tough team that hit you in the mouth and have some athletes that can actually defend in the secondary. That's what happened. So, you know, hey man, they, you know, what the people say now? They go do what it do, man. They just go do what it do. So, you know, we just got to figure this thing out. But the great thing is Will McClay, and that you can get Marshall's picks, as Boss Cowboy you love to say. They can get some good Marshall's picks, and he's going to draft well and get some talent in here that can help us. So, hey, at the end of the day, like I said, because we draft well, we gonna always have a shot.
Right, we gonna have a shot.
Right. Right.
So the sky's not falling.
Sky's not falling, but like I'm gonna say this again. Talent is one thing, but you got to establish a scheme. Whereas it can insert, like anybody can fit into this scheme and it can work. Meaning that it doesn't matter. Like for one thing, I hate to give them praise is like the 49ers, right? They took Elijah Mitchell, 6th-round draft pick, and he was still able to run, right? And I can guarantee you, if we pick up Elijah Mitchell, and give them Ezekiel Elijah. You know what I'm saying? Elliott. We would have been looking at it like, man, the 49ers not fair. They got Ezekiel Elliott with a PCL tear running and ripping through the league over there. And we got Elijah Mitchell, a 6th-round draft pick, who pretty much all they doing is 21 slam. Even with my guy Tony Pollard, I like him. You know, I would love to see him with more opportunities, but we will still have to establish a system, a scheme. Now, we got the system, but we got to establish a scheme in order to defeat certain looks, and I believe that that's one of the weakest parts of Kellen Moore's system. He have no scheme, but he got a system.
All right, real quick, and I appreciate that, Law.
3, 2, 1, drop it. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
No skrill, drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to do.
All right, we got us a super chat from Coach Maul.
Coach,
This
what
was
Coach
funny.
talking about?
What did he say? What did he say?
He say if getting rid of Cooper is for keeping Law and his defense together, I'm with it. But to keep Schultz, hell no. Well, hold on. I actually disagree, Coach. I disagree. I think the person that has the biggest impact on the team is Cooper.
Right.
We were 6-1 without Tank.
Right. And hold on, before you go to your other point, we was 3-5 with Tank, right? We were 3-5
Right.
with Ezekiel Elliott. You know.
Yes. Yeah, we was 3-5 in 2018. Right, Law.
Right.
Exactly.
And it was gonna get
But
worse.
when we
than
got
that.
Cooper, I think
Playoffs.
I would switch the A part. I would switch it. You know what I mean? Plus, with Parsons and Gregory, still go get pressure. You know what I mean? But if you lose Cooper, where you gonna get a number one from? So I will switch your A part, but you might be able to talk me into it. Coach real smart. He might be able to talk me into it.
Shoot,
He
coach,
might be able to
coach
talk.
fool around, call in, and the voice be like, "Is that God?" You know, the deep voice. I thought I had a deep voice. I'm like, "Hey, wait a minute."
Hey, Law, check this. OC, this B part. And see, I'm doing a video on this tomorrow. Bro, Schultz and Jarwin can go. They can go right now. Listen.
Wow.
Oh,
Right
listen.
now?
Let me check this free agent list for the tight
Both
end.
of them? I look, listen.
No,
and I'm
you
gonna wait for
listen
you
here,
to-
OC.
Linda, listen.
Okay.
You listen here because you got a froggy tone right now. You got a tone like you ready to leap.
Yeah, I am.
Are you ready to
I'm ready.
leap at what I'm saying?
I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to leave.
Okay.
Because
I'll let you go
because I'm gonna
first.
tell you.
Let's go.
No, listen, man. Schultz, I understand. He has performed his way with a massive amount of system targets, right? Where he is going to demand $30+ million. That's too much. He got to go. Let him go. But Blake Jarwin has been hurt. He's a vertical threat. He strengthens the offense, especially with what you just said about Amari Cooper getting excommunicated from the Dallas Cowboys. So leave him intact. You already paid the man. The man has speed. He can catch the ball downfield. He can stretch, and he can do a lot of things within your system to help you be successful. So therefore, again, I'm going to tell you, like I said earlier, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. You got to have somebody in here that can play interior in between the hashes and catch that football, boss cowboy. Let's be sensible. Of course.
All right.
I knew
my
you were
God.
gonna do that.
Yeah,
Of
all right.
course.
Let me go. Listen. All right, man. Listen. You my homie, but I got to tell you the truth, big dog. All right.
Yeah, come on.
So, you know you boy already been doing this homework.
Trey McBride, baby. Oh, go ahead.
Yes. Listen, man. This draft class is good. This is a real good draft class and tight end class, free agent class. Bye, Schultz and Jarwin. Bye. And y'all listen, because we've done this before. Do y'all remember going into 2017? We had Church, we had Carr, we had Mo Claiborne. They wanted their money. What did we do? We go replace you. And we replaced them all. We replaced with Xavier Woods, Jordan Lewis, and it was Heat. That was our secondary. And we went younger, and Cheeto. We went younger. Because if you pay Schultz, right? If you pay Schultz, that's gonna strain you from keeping Amari. And I'm telling you,
don't pay him.
okay, and I'm telling you this: these tight ends, unlike Schultz and unlike Jarwin, Trey can block. Trey can block. And look at how he was targeted in college. 90 receptions. He used to being the go-to guy. He would come in right now and do the job of Schultz right now.
You're making too many assumptions about the future. You're making too many assumptions about the future.
You got to.
Draft pick. Yeah, no. Well, first of all, see, this is where you're wrong. Right?
I'm wrong. I gave you all facts and I'm wrong.
You're assuming that he's going to be. You're assuming he's going to be available at a certain draft pick. You're making assumptions that the top flight of free agent
I
tight
didn't.
ends are,
You put that in my mouth.
Yeah,
I didn't make that assumption. I got multiple options, big dog. You thought I was done?
Okay.
Oh, you thought I was done? Oh, you thought I was done? Oh, you thought I just had one option up here? Oh no, this is Boss Cowboy Sports, homeboy. Yeah, Jake Ferguson. He's a low-key Jason Witten. Remember, I said that.
Hold on. You're just too early, man. Too soon.
No, it's not.
You're reaching.
This is what I do. No. See, when somebody say what they see, they always do me like this.
Shame.
And then I be the one that be right later.
Shame.
I be the one that be right later. Because y'all thought I was reaching on Curse, didn't you? You thought I was reaching when I said Chase was the next Sterling Sharp, didn't you?
Wait a minute. I'm gonna have to hit the
I called Chase Sterling Sharp. Oh, boss, that's going too far. That's too early. Nobody. Yeah, I was the first one to call Parsons LT. Yeah, I was. Now everybody said. Oh, now everybody said. I just say what I see. And when I look at Jake Ferguson, I dare anybody look him up. Look him up and do your own research. You go see, just like Jason Witten, you go see somebody who does a lot of things very good. He does nothing elite. And that's why I'm calling him Jason Witten, because he does everything very good. He does nothing elite. But that's how Jason Witten was. But he was such a professional, it became elite because he was consistent everywhere. So I'm not calling him Witten. Man. I'm saying his game is similar.
Oh,
but
okay,
not even that.
Okay. Likely. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, C thought I was just show one. Bro, this tight end class is dope. Listen, that's why I said bye. Because I've already done my research. Now I looked at the free agents, I looked at the draft candidates, and I looked at how they play. I'm like, these dudes are dogs. You not gonna see a tight end like Isaiah Likely.
No,
You're not.
They not letting you slide when you said Jason did nothing elite over here, man. You're gonna have to go
yeah. Because people drunk on the Kool-Aid. People drunk on the Kool-Aid. No, okay. So y'all telling me out of Tennessee, y'all all predicted he was gonna be a Hall of Famer. Y'all stop this capping now. Y'all stop all this capping. No, when he was coming out of Tennessee under Parcells, Witten was exactly what I said. He was good at everything. He did nothing elite, but he became elite. That's what I'm saying with Jake. That's Jake's game. So, I mean, everybody want to pom right now, Jason Witten. Yeah, we know what he became. But when he was coming into the league, none of y'all put a yellow jacket on him. Stop it. So I'm saying, and don't put words in my mouth. Don't put words in my mouth.
Right.
See, because people like to do that. They like to put words in your mouth. No, I'm not saying he's a Hall of Famer. I'm saying just like Jason Witten was coming into the league and he did everything good, but he did nothing elite until later on. That's how I see Jake Ferguson. Go watch his tape. You go see somebody who blocks very good, catches very good. Matter of fact, he had 6 catches in the Senior Bowl.
You know, one thing I can say, boss, I can't debate you on this topic because I have not seen this film, so I'm like this,
Okay.
you know. I'm hands off, you know. I'm trusting your judgment, man. You my boy.
No, don't trust me. Don't trust me, dog.
No, hold on. You gotta let me finish. I trust.
Okay,
you.
okay,
I gotta
okay,
verify. I gotta.
Yeah, there you go. there it is. Trust but verify.
I gotta verify.
And I'm telling y'all in balance. That's why I'm saying get rid of Schultz. That's why I don't think I was like being judgmental. I don't think it's because I've done the research.
But let me ask you this.
And
Who is closer to Jason Witten now, Dalton Schultz or Ferguson? Now.
Ferguson.
So Ferguson, a rookie, will be better than Dalton Schultz with what he did for us for the last 2 years.
To answer your question, because your first question was who's closer to Jason Witten.
Yeah.
And the reason why I said Jake Ferguson, because we do know Jake Ferguson can block. Schultz ain't never been able to block day one to today. So now who the closest on route running, subtleness, getting open? That's Schultz. I would bet on Schultz at this point in terms of getting open, better than Ferguson. But I also know how Dallas used their tight ends. Dallas really don't do nothing fancy with their tight ends. When we break down the tight ends, there's nothing fancy that they doing. They mostly finding the soft spots in the zone, right? Or they running a lot of bootlegs, right? You know, like right there he got open, but that wasn't nothing fancy. Like if I just really break down Schultz and what he's doing, Schultz a lot of times is finding those spots in the zone, turning around, boom. Come on now. Like, and let's just really look at Schultz. I really want to look at what he's doing. Is what Schultz doing so complicated that you can't he just found the soft spot, turned around and caught it. He go do this over and over and over and over. So why would somebody want to pay for this? I'm not paying for somebody to turn around and do buck hooks all day.
Well,
Find soft spots.
I'm gonna ask you this. So we got. I'm looking at this free agent list, and before we talk about spending draft capital on a tight end, I'm looking at this free agent list, and what would be cheaper than Schultz right now would be a David and Njoku. Would you like to pair that up with Jarwin? All right.
Yes.
Yes. All right,
yes.
Let's see who else on this list. Evan Ingram, he got a dropsies, but would you like to pair that up with?
Yes, I would take him right now.
Okay. And of course, Zach Ertz, that's a long tooth. He's 31. Would you like to pair that up with
take
Jarwin?
him.
Okay. So
yep.
These are all guys I'm looking at this tight end.
Right. And you wasn't even finished. You didn't mention OJ.
Oh, let me look at on the list. Let me see where he's at.
From Tampa. He gonna be cheap.
He gonna be super cheap because he's not even on the top 100 list. Let me look at
right. He gonna be cheap. Remember, he was behind Gronk.
Yeah, Gronk is on his list. Gronk is a long tooth, man.
So we can get a lot of tight ends that can come in here and catch them soft spots in the zone. Man, bye. Why would we pay 13, 14 million for a guy to turn around and catch balls?
I would pay.
He's not stretching the field.
Njoku right now and mix it in.
Yeah, I take David
Jarwin is
quick.
On the contract. There's no way you can run up from that one, right? You know, he's under contract.
Oh, if he's under contract,
Jarwin is under contract. Yeah.
Yeah, Jarwin. Yeah, but you might want to cut him. But I'm saying, and I'm being honest. I like the classes. I like the free agent class. I like the draft class. I got confidence in it. You know what I mean? I can see if it's a weak class. Like last year was a weak linebacker class. And I knew if we didn't jump on linebacker in the first 2 rounds, we was going to struggle. I knew it. But this class, man, I think we going to be able to sit up with our feet kicked up all the way to the 4th rounds and know we go get a solid tight end. Not think, know it.
What about that kid from Texas A&M? You didn't pull up him.
Oh, I didn't even show him. Right? I ain't even show him, big dog.
I think his name is Jalen something from Texas A&M.
Yeah, the #1 tight end in the class. Yeah, he might be available. Man, I ain't worried about no Schultz. Man, bye. I ain't worried about those Schultz, bro. Like, we could, and then this is the main reason why I'm not worried of Schultz. This is the last thing I'm going to say. Look at our tight end history. Witten, he go down. Who steps up? Schwam, out of nowhere, right? Mm-hmm. Had the same production. Then he go down. Who steps up? Jarwin. Same production. Jarwin go down. Who steps up? Schultz. So is it really that these guys are balling, or they just fit our system and we just dumping it off to them? The only one that stretched the field is Jarwin.
Which is why you don't get rid of Jarwin, to my point. And I never said you keep Schultz because you're going to have to overpay him, but you don't get rid of a guy that can run intermediate routes and that can block and that can stretch the field, especially a guy that's young like him.
Who can block?
That a guy, well, he's a better blocker than Schultz. Let me say that.
Yeah, say it right, big dog. Say it right.
He can stretch the field. He can stretch the field. So I'm saying he's young. Why get rid of him? Okay, that's a hater move, man. Okay.
That's not a hater move, bro. You was embellishing. You was embellishing.
I'm not embellishing. I'm telling you that Jarwin is a guy that can stretch the field. I said it a couple weeks ago.
No, you start talking about that blocking.
He's a better blocker than Schultz. He's a better blocker than
Schultz.
But
is he a good blocker?
Is he a great blocker?
I'm a better blocker than Schultz, dog.
I don't know. Let me think about that.
See, man, you playing, bro.
Let me think about that.
You playing.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that you got to think of it meaning you took an L, bro. And I'm telling you, you took an L on this debate.
You being a better blocker.
Oh, okay. Ha, 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 ha.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ha, 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 ha.
So, yeah. So, look, man, you don't get rid of a guy that can stretch the field that's proven that he can make plays down the seams. And that's what I'm saying with Jarwin, right? Schultz, you're going to have to pay too much. For whatever reason, I agree with you, right? But why get rid of Blake Jarwin? That's my only contention in this whole discussion.
Because he don't play, bro. He injury prone.
Okay.
Yeah, we can get some durable guys in here. That block and that stretch the field.
Well, he's durable until he gets hurt, boss Cowboy. You can't predict that he's not going to get any injuries when he gets into the building, that he's not going to have a mishap, a torn ACL, MCL, or ankle. You don't know that, right? He's durable right now because he hadn't been hurt, right? So everybody's durable until they get hurt.
Well, you doing too much. Well, you doing...
Just tell him. I mean, it's a lot. Okay, there you go.
Oh, man. Dude, you really said that, dog. You really said that, big dog. My boy said, Law. My boy said, you're durable until you get hurt.
That's true.
Boy.
That's true. You consider
that's not true, OC. Try that on somebody else, dog. Try that on somebody. All right. Try that on somebody. That ain't gonna work on me. And somebody said injury prone, Blake injury prone, not dependable. And somebody said Ingram injury prone. That's true. But that's also why you're going to likely get him at a deal.
David Njoku, baby.
Yeah. But I'm cool with Blake coming back. I just, to Coach Mars' point, and I was just messing with you, OC, just to Coach Mars' point, we got to be very careful because what can happen is if we over co-sign Schultz, we go mess around and see him get signed, and we go watch Cooper walk away.
I'm trying to hold on.
I just want us to be careful.
I'm trying to hold on.
What'd you say?
I'm trying to hold on to Cooper, man.
Me too, bro. Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
What's our final words? I'll start.
I'll go first. I'll go first, man. Cause no, you the host. I'll go first. Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, man. Hey, we got a new wide receivers, right? We got a doubling down of the system that Kellen wants to try to make work for the Dallas Cowboys, and hopefully that system turns into something that is significant. I pray, and I don't just hope. I pray that we keep Amari Cooper. I just think that's going to weaken our wide receiver core a little bit too much. Man, although I believe greatly in our draft ability and to get value, I just don't want it to happen. I just think continuity is a big part. So let's see what happens in the draft. And let's continue to push forward and dig into this draft class and see what happens with these free agents, man. That's my final word.
Yeah, my final word is I'm excited for this offseason. And I really do see that it's not as bad as what we might think. I feel like we do have some secret weapons that should keep us hopeful because Will McClay has worked miracles almost every offseason. We're going to be looking for him to do another one because the Joneses are putting him again in a hard place. But I think he's committed. He's been compensated. He's been, he's gotten his raise. He's going to be around. He's proven over and over. Just think about it. Where was our defense ranked last year? 31st. Yeah. Most of us just wanted them to get to mid-tier. Where did we end up? Number 1, turnovers. You know what I mean? We ended up number 1 in a lot of turnovers because when this man and his scouting team gets to work, he really do work some magic. So I'm expecting it's going to be some more magic. Even if Jerry and them do something weird, like they look like they trying to do. They trying to set it up, in my opinion, to get rid of the big homie. If that happened, Boss Cowboy not going to panic. I'm going to be upset for just about 30 minutes, but then I'm going to get back to business, those days off. And we going to start talking about what's the next moves he is likely to do to help his quarterback. That's my final word.
Man, brilliant points by both of you guys, man. It was wonderful talking to you guys today. I get it. We all will not agree on every topic, but that's what family is about, man, right? We talk about this and we have our disagreements, and then we bump shoulders, pump fists each other, and then we say, okay, let's get back to the drawing board. And this is what this is about, Cowboy Nation. Shout out to Will McClay. I believe, like you said, man, we are the Jets without him, right? We are the Lions without him, or we are the other teams that's without him. I've seen people commenting that we 12-5, and man, it's terrible, right? I get it. We want to host the Lombardi Trophy. We want to lift it up. But every journey begins with one step, and baby, I'm telling you, we are still stepping with this team, silver and blue, until we die. Even we stay true. This is the thing, Cowboy Nation. The free agency always come before the draft. So whatever we talking about as far as who we going to get, that changes a lot, right? Because this free agent, we fool around and get one of those guys. Now the board is all shooken up and shaken down, and now we're going to go through a whole nother process of emotions, right? And I know one thing. We're not going to dance for the first week, right? We're not going to dance first week of the free agency, and that's the calling card of John Stephen Jones. I do know that there's pressure right now from that office, sprinkled down to the media, and put out there to everyone about cutting Amari Cooper.
Facts.
Getting rid of DeMarcus Lawrence for the sake of $24 million so that you can dance in this free agency. I don't want the Cowboys to do two things. One being they cut those guys. Two being, we signed our own guys. We made some moves in the free agent. Ladies and gentlemen, we signed our own guys. I don't want to hear that bullshit, right? The good thing is, and I'm saying this the operative word, if the LA Rams find a way to win the Super Bowl, my goodness, we can all bang on the table and say, Jerry, see? You got a will and deal, baby. And look what they did. They will and deal. So let's not sit on our hands. Let's go out there and make it happen, Cowboy Nation. I can't wait, man, for this draft time and free agency come around. But let's stay true. That's my final word.
All right. That was the final word, man.
Yeah.
So appreciate that. We gonna have Big with us next week, maybe even this Thursday. You know how it go.
Oh yeah, I forgot y'all do it double time for your mom.
No, we might not. You know how that go, big dog. I'm just saying if we do, it's the off season, so final word can jump off on any day. This depends on what happens.
No doubt.
But yeah, man. But we gonna get big next week, man. It ain't never the same when one of the brothers is missing. When Law is not here, it's not the same. When the OC not here, it's not the same. But we rocked. Y'all stay up. Final word.